Here's the thing about car restoration that nobody likes to admit. It's basically the automotive equivalent of setting your money on fire, except slower and with more grease under your fingernails. Look, I love cars. I was born and raised in Detroit, so it's almost kind of law that you have to be a car guy. And I have had cars in my blood ever since I was a kid. I like working in cars, I like looking at cars, I like flipping through car classifieds, and most of all, I like driving cars. But here's the thing. I'm not into those marathon restoration projects that drag on for 3 years because, let's be honest, I want to see results before I die of old age. I also like knowing that when I do work on something, it's getting done right, or at least done the way I think is right, which is basically the same thing in my book. Because when someone else does the work, you never really know if they took shortcuts. Did they use good parts? Did they grab whatever was cheapest at the auto parts store? It's very hard to look below the surface and know exactly what kind of effort they put into their work. Did they torque those bolts to spec, or did they go with what feels right? And here's the brutal truth that car guys probably know, but you might not know, and where this kind of becomes a financial tips discussion. That work you put into the car, you're never getting that back out. Like, ever. Not even close. It's not even in the same zip code as breaking even. Most people who have been around cars for 5 minutes know this, but for some reason, we all keep pretending that it's not true. We rebuild, restore, or modify a car, and we think, oh, I'll get that back out of it when I sell it, but you're not going to. We have to admit, even though we won't do it at the time, that we're doing it for ourselves, for our own twisted satisfaction. And here's the kicker. Most people who start these types of projects never even think about selling the car. They're convinced that this is their baby and it's going to be with them forever, like some kind of automotive soulmate. But then life usually happens and we get tired of looking at that project car, taking up half our garage, or maybe you need the money because your kid decided they wanted to go to college or something stupid like that. So you list the car and you sell it and boom, reality slaps you harder than a cold Michigan winter. You'll never get your money's worth out of that car. And here's where it gets interesting for the rest of us smart cookies. For people who are buying cars, it's almost always a fantastic deal, like ridiculously good deals. Here's my advice, and pay attention because this could save you more money than switching to generic cereal. If you want to buy a classic car, buy one that's already been fully restored. Not some Pebble Beach Concours level perfection, although if you can get one, great. That's going to cost you a pretty penny, but find someone who's already done all that heavy lifting. Think about it. If you want to take your car to a shop for a full rotisserie restoration, an engine rebuild, chassis work, the whole 9 yards, you're looking at a couple $100,000 easy. And that's assuming your shop doesn't discover any surprises along the way, which they always do. And by the way, your frame is basically held together by rust and good intentions. That's going to be another 20 grand. And the people at the Roadster shop are going to give themselves a nice little bonus. Hopefully, the car you're restoring is actually worth that investment, but it doesn't necessarily mean that it is. I know people, and maybe you do too, who have dropped $100,000, $200,000, $300,000 into a car that's maybe worth 40 grand, 50 grand, 60 grand when it's all said and done. And they didn't do the math wrong. They just didn't care about the math because that car meant something to them. Maybe it was their first car. Maybe it's got sentimental value. Maybe it was their father's car. Maybe it reminds them of better times or when gas was under $11. And you could actually fix cars with basic tools. But when you're buying instead of building, you can actually find these beautifully restored cars where the price represents a tiny fraction of what they actually spent on it. Sure, you might not love every choice they made. Their personal touches might not be exactly your style. Like how some people think putting a hot tub in the kitchen is a good idea. I swear to God, I thought the ladies would love eating and lounging in the same room. But if you want a car that runs well and looks gorgeous, this is your path to happiness. Let me tell you 2 quick stories here of listings that I actually saw that were real. In one case, someone took a 1984 Jaguar XJ6, a car that I really like. It's not my favorite XJ6 model, but they did a full-on restoration. The framework, body off, full paint job, full reupholstery, full engine rebuild, and now the car is sitting and languishing for a $6,000 listing. I guarantee you that car had tens of thousands of dollars poured into it. And another one, and I'm not sure why this one happened. I think maybe they owned a body shop or something, but there was a Chevy HHR. This car is probably worth $4,000, $4,500 on a good day. And they did a full body off, scrape it down to bare metal, repaint everything, powder coat the undercarriage, new carpet, new upholstery, custom headliner, and the car is listed for right around what it probably should be listed for, about $3,800. But I guarantee you the paint job alone is probably worth $8-9 grand. And let's say you're looking for a car that's maybe something that you actually do want. Let's say it's that $60,000 restored Dodge Charger, which I love, and it's probably going to make your wallet cry. But it's actually probably a $100,000 or $200,000 car with a massive discount. You're basically getting someone else's expensive midlife crisis at wholesale prices. Now, I know some people who restore cars put absolutely insane price tags on them when they go to sell. You'll see some guy asking $300,000 for an old Ford pickup. That's admittedly spectacular. But come on, here's the thing. I don't see these overpriced beauties actually selling at those prices. You can list a car for whatever you want. But if you eventually need the money, reality is going to set in and they're going to have to move that truck and you're going to get what people are going to actually pay for, which is probably a fraction of the total cost that you have invested in it. You'd be surprised at what a nagging spouse will get you to do with the car that you loved and spent your life savings on. So whatever the reason, that price is going to drop to $25,000, $22,000, maybe $18,000. And at that price point, you're getting what I like to call a smoking hot deal on someone else's labor of love. So look, if you're in the market for a classic car, or like that HHR, it's not really a classic yet, don't just look at barn finds and project cars. Consider going ahead and spending a little more on something that's been completely gone through already by someone who actually knew what they were doing. Because even at that higher price, I think in most cases, you're still getting a massive discount on what it would cost you to do that work yourself. So trust me, your future self and your bank account will thank you for it. Hopefully that helps. I'll see you later.